the Mass is the best time to spend our time here on earth.
Daily Gospel Reflection with Father Jack. Friends, brothers and sisters, nothing can stop God's plan for your life. Reflect and be blessed.
Good day, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, my dear people of God, my dear kababayans, faithful followers of the Daily Gospel Reflection with Father Jack. If you know that today is your last day on earth, what will you do? If you know that tonight will be your last night on this planet and tomorrow you will be gone, what will you do? How do you spend your last day? How do you spend your last night? How do you treat your family and friends? Jesus, the night before his crucifixion, he gathered his disciples, he assembled them together, and he instructed them what to do. Jesus made his final instruction with the disciples and revealed to them his last will and testament. It is just like for us Filipinos, yung huling pamamaalam, yung huling habilin. Mahalaga ang mga bagay na yon. And Jesus, before his crucifixion, he left his disciples with something to remember him. That's why he instituted the Eucharist and he told his disciples, "Do this in remembrance of me." And he also told his disciples to love one another. And he did it by washing their feet. As we start our Easter Triduum celebration tonight, and tonight, by the way, the highlights of today's celebration is the institution of the Eucharist. We call that one the Lord's Supper and the washing of the feet. 3 points that I would like to share with you today, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters. Jesus instituted the Eucharist and he told his disciples, "Do this in remembrance of me." Jesus instituted the Eucharist because nowadays it is dangerous for us to be alone. The Eucharist is the living presence of God, and he promised his disciples, and the same promise is telling to us, "I will be with you always until the end of time." The Eucharist is a celebration of remembering the promise of God. We are encouraged and called to gather together in celebrating the Eucharist. My dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, when we gather together, we spread the spirit of joy. When we gather together, failure is impossible. The more we gather, the more we gain power. The more we gather, the united we become, because gathering is power, and the Eucharist is a gathering of love. And Jesus instituted it in order for us to be bounded by love with his loving presence. Pope Pius said, "The Eucharist is the shortest, the safest, and the surest way to heaven." And for Mother Teresa of Calcutta, she is reminding us that if we spend 1 hour per week in the Eucharistic adoration, she said, abortion will be ended. Abortion will be gone. That is how important and essential is the gathering together before the Eucharists. That's why, if we wanted to eliminate the faces and the forces of evils in our society, live and love the Eucharist. Be a Eucharistic person. The Eucharist is the highest form of prayer. That's why, my dear kababayans, my dear people of God, especially parents, always encourage your children to attend the Eucharist, because the Eucharist is power. It is the presence of God. That's why I remember Saint John Bosco once said, "Make a fervent visit to the Blessed Sacrament and the devil will be powerless against you." That's how powerful the Eucharist is, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters. Be a Eucharistic person. The Mass is the best time to spend our time here on earth. And tonight, Jesus also instituted the priesthood. You know what? The Eucharist and the priesthood are two inseparable entities. You cannot separate Eucharist from the priesthood. There is no Eucharist without priests. And what the use of priesthood without the Eucharist? Friends, mother, brothers, and sisters, I believe Satan is upset, Satan is angry and jealous with the priests. That is why the devil is looking for ways to destroy the priesthood so that the Eucharist will be eliminated. And you know what? Satan will find any ways and means to make priesthood discouraging, to make priesthood not attractive to the young men. He will make them believe that priesthood is out of place, that it is only for those who are desperate, that priesthood is boring, that priesthood is depressing. But you know what? Never believe to the deception of the devil. Because look at us. Are we depressed? Are we sad? Is our life depressing? No. Mother friends, mother brothers and sisters, I would like to encourage you, especially parents, to continue to promote vocation to the priesthood and encourage your boys, to consider the path of priestly life. And also, find ways to sponsor a seminarian in your diocese. Help your diocese to promote vocation to the priesthood, because without priest, there is no Eucharists. And I would like also to grab this opportunity to express my gratitude to all who supported me during my seminary years. I would like to thank you, my dear followers, my dear kababayans, my dear people of God, for remembering me, for keeping me in your prayers. Continue to pray for all of us, your shepherds. Continue to pray for the increase of the priestly vocation and for the sanctification of all the priests. And finally, before his crucifixion, Jesus gathered his disciples together in one table and told them not to forget to exercise humility by serving one another. My dear kababayans, my dear faithful followers, service is the best expression of love. And we are called to love one another by serving one another. But what is interesting to note is this. Jesus gathered his disciples together in one table and there they talked together. And I think this is very important reminder for all of us to have a time to eat together in one table as a family. To make the table as a venue to gather together, to talk together, to share stories together, and to be one as family together. My dear young people, have a time to eat together as a family, together with your parents. Mas masaya kapag sama-sama, mas masarap kapag sabay-sabay. Iwasan natin yung mga bagay na kanya-kanya, kanya-kanyang table, kanya-kanyang upuan, kanya-kanyang lugar. Let us learn from the example of today's gospel. Like Jesus and the disciples eat together, to have time together. Today, we are invited and encouraged by our celebration to be a Eucharistic person. Love the Eucharist because that is the presence of God. It is very dangerous to be alone, and Jesus promises us that He will be with us. And second, continue to love your priests by praying for them. Keep your priests in your prayers. We need your prayers. And thank you in advance for all those people who are praying for me. And finally, we are mandated to serve one another. And in our serving, we should not forget to exercise and do it in a spirit of humility. Have a blessed celebration of the Easter Triduum. Amen.